most in my life. They say you're out of my league, but I don't give a damn. No, deep down I know you want it. You wanna take a leap and jump in. You wanna fall in love. Would you get me spinning? Wouldn't it be awesome if you just kiss me slowly and had me in your arms? If I could make you see it, baby, would be something to me.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. My name is Cambria, and in today's video we are getting so much done. Not only are we tackling this entire house, but we will also be going outside and dealing with the animals, the birds, the dogs, everything. Today was a day to get so much done. I'm really been pushing my to-do list because we are going on vacation soon, and I am someone that part of my packing list when it comes to going on vacation is having a clean house, because there is nothing worse than coming home and feeling like you have a bunch of things to get done on your to-do list. So anytime we go on vacation, I always try and get as much off of my to-do list as possible. That way when we get back from a relaxing vacation, we don't have to crazy rush into everyday to-dos again. I did just want to go around and give everything a decent dust. I am just using Lysol wipes. Sometimes I just like grabbing these wipes. It's nice and easy. I throw out it when I'm done. I don't do this on a regular basis, but I love having these on hand. They are just super convenient. You guys know I love my multi-purpose spray, but sometimes just using a Lysol wipe just seems quicker and easier for me. So that's what I'm doing in here. Nothing too crazy. Like I said, giving everything a good dust down. Our bedroom gets horrendous when it comes to dust, and I know it's just because our dog spends so much time in here, but then going into the bathroom and giving it a good wipe down. I try and do this regularly because then I never need to worry about having a crazy deep cleaning. Everything stays pretty well if I at least wipe it down every morning. And then when I'm doing my big deep cleaning, you guys saw that I just did the rug in here and stuff like that. It doesn't seem as overwhelming because I don't have to do everything at once. I can do my rug one day and then a deep shower scrub another day, but if I do little bits every day and then those deep cleaning projects split up, it just makes life a lot easier on me. And then after I was done in here, I wanted to just turn on the robot vacuum to give it a good vacuuming. I love this because then I can go and get other stuff done. But the other reason I love when this comes in here is it gets under the bed. So I'm not moving my bed on a regular basis, so it getting under there makes a big difference. But moving into the kitchen, it wasn't horrendous. It just needed a quick tidy up. It's funny though, because whenever I'm cleaning the kitchen, you guys can let me know if you're the same way. It never fails that the kids want some sort of snack or meal made. And I will get it for them, but I always make them eat it either in the family room or in their bedrooms, because I'm like, can I just get it clean and let it stay clean for 5 minutes? It never fails. So Freya wanted something, so I quickly got her some, I think it was yogurt on this day, and then just had her go sit in the family room. That way I could finish cleaning it. Like I said, it never fails that is when they want something. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get the kitchen completely cleaned, all good for the day. That's when they'll ask. So I often don't do this because I forget. I feel like all of you guys are my friends and I know all of you, but I know some of you maybe be here for the first time and you have no idea who I am. So I'm going to take this time to quickly introduce myself. My name is Cambriea. I am a mom of 3. I have a 10-year-old boy, a 7-year-old boy, and then a 2-year-old daughter. We live currently in Florida, but are originally from Wisconsin. We actually just moved down here a year ago after Bobby retired from the military. Bobby is my husband. We have been together for, we're going on 13 years. It'll be 13 years in July, so that is super exciting. And yeah, we have taken our time down here. We bought this older home and have completely remodeled it, top to bottom. If you go back on my channel, you will see that this house literally looks nothing like it did a year ago, but we absolutely love it. We've wanted to live down here pretty much our entire marriage, but with Bobby being in the military and everything, it really just never was possible. So once he retired, we moved down here. My parents live here, my aunt and uncle live here, and then the rest of our family lives in Wisconsin. So we're actually going to be going up to visit family in just a couple of weeks, and we are all very excited to make our trip up there and get to see everyone.
I'm selfish, 'cause I want you to myself, and all your friends are waiting. We both know we wanna stay, just like nothing has changed. No matter how hard you try, you cannot push me out, so just listen. I've been thinking of you since you broke it and moved to LA. And no matter how hard I try, I cannot get you out of my system. I know we both.
So another question I get asked, fairly common, is what do Bobby and I do for a living? Which for some of you, you guys are going to know the answer, but I actually do YouTube full time. I've been doing this for, I think it's 5 years now. I actually started back in 2018 when Bobby got deployed overseas for a year. I had to quit my full-time job to stay home with the kids since what I was making at my full-time job did not make up for the increase in childcare with him being gone. So I was going stir crazy and started on YouTube. And needless to say, by the time he got home from his deployment, I was making enough money on YouTube that we could afford to have me be a stay-at-home mom. And Bobby, like I said, was in the military. When we lived in Wisconsin, he also worked for Spectrum, the cable company. But when we moved, since he is a disabled vet, he does get paid that way through his retirement. So we decided that we would focus on remodeling this house and take it one day at a time. So he works at home with me, which we have been loving, being able to spend all this time as a family together. The kids having not just a stay-at-home mom, but a stay-at-home dad is such a blessing, like 100% a blessing. I don't want to make it seem less than it is. The idea that Bobby and I can both work from home and our kids get that, I am beyond grateful for you guys, because you guys make that possible. So I know it may sound silly to say that my work is a full-time YouTuber and my husband is retired, but that is what it is. I do YouTube full-time, and Bobby is a disabled vet that retired after 21 years in the military. This garbage area always gets so dirty, but I got this cool new, what is it? It's the Bissell hand vac. I actually got it for our coffee bar because there's coffee grounds that always get everywhere. But it has come in so handy throughout the entire house because not having to pull out the big vacuum, even though it has the attachments, like this has been just so much simpler. It does just stay on the counter in the coffee bar. So when I make my coffee in the morning, if some of the coffee grounds fall, I can clean it up right away. But love this thing. It's, like I said, brand new to me. It was from Bissell. I got it because it was the most affordable. Like, I was seeing some of these hand vacs and they were like over $100. And I'm like, this is this tiny little vacuum. Why am I spending over $100? And then I believe this one was under 50. And I have used Bissell before. I like their brand, so that is why I went with it. And then this is my Dreamy Tech vacuum. I get a lot of questions about this. It is a wet dry vacuum. I use it all the time in between moppings with my O-Cedar mop. I will bring this out because it vacuums and mops all at the same time. And when we are dealing with dog hair all the time, the idea that it does both makes my life so much easier. I did have to switch out the head. It was acting a little funny on me. So that's what you see me doing here is I switched out the head and then it was working fine. So I don't know. It just didn't like me. Probably got a bunch of hair stuck in it from, well, the dogs. So, but I love this thing. Wet dry vac is one of those things of if you want to like ask on a Christmas list for Amazon gift cards to save up for it, highly recommend. Like I said, this is a Dreamy Tech. I also love the Roborock. I don't have the Tinco, but I have a bunch of friends who have the Tinco and they swear by the Tinco as well. So those are the three brands I would recommend. The first two, Dreamy and Roborock, I have personally tried and personally love. Tinco, I have not personally tried, but I have a lot of friends that I trust wholeheartedly that love it. But now moving outside to deal with the quail, I clean their cage about once a week. It's not fun by any means, but it is a must to keep up with. So that is what I'm doing here. I did read where people are using pine shavings on their trays and it helped. So you're going to see me later on using that. I've been using diatomaceous earth, which does help, but I wanted to try something new, and that is what I'm doing on this day. You can see the ducks are always curious about what I'm doing and are always around. I already had some of this on hand because I use this in the duck cage. They normally free range all day. They're only in their cage if they want to during the day or at night. I do lock them up at night just to keep them safe. I don't want any raccoons or anything getting at them. I don't think they would with our yard being fenced in, but they free range during the day. They have the ring of the whole backyard, but at night we do lock them up. Also, if you're curious about the smaller cage under the window, so that is my quail jail / hospital ward. I say quail jail because currently we do have a quail in there that was caught trying to scalp one of the ladies. So he got moved into there until I can do something with him because I do not keep mean quail. And quail can be vicious, and it is definitely a genetics thing, and you don't want to breed mean ones. So he is currently in quail jail because, yeah, he almost killed one of my ladies by pecking at her head so much. And it not just typical breeding pecking. You'll notice that a lot of girls do end up going bald because of the way they breed, but actually like scalping, like old Indian style scalping. It can be vicious. Like I have had one bird scalped before and it's not a pretty sight. So it is definitely something I take very seriously, where if I have a mean bird, it does not get to stay with our flock.
Wish that I could stay in this moment forever, so I can hold you in my arms. I will carry you on my shoulders as long as I'm the monsters under your bed. Deep in the
We actually just had our last group of quail hatch out, which I'm super excited for. They are so cute when they first hatch and so little. If you guys have followed me for a while, you know I'm trying to get 3 bloodlines, which is why I have the 3 different cages. It makes for a healthier group of birds and not inbreeding. But here I am going in and cleaning out their sand bath. This does not need to be done on a regular basis. I actually have like a kitty scoop that I will clean it out regularly. But on this day I wanted to do a more thorough deep cleaning of it. So I'm actually bringing out the shop vac, taking out the sand and replacing it, and then throwing in some diatomaceous earth. You're going to see here in a little bit that the quail love their sand bath. So that whole side is where they can go and get into the sand. Also, if we have any rain or wind or weather that they don't like, they can go over there and they're completely protected. But this is their favorite thing, is the sand bath. They spend 90% of their day over on that side of the cage.
for you. Deep and abiding.
I have also recently gotten a ton of questions about the bird's cage, and I always figure when I get more than like a handful of questions that there's got to be a lot of people wondering. So I like to answer these questions, but a lot of people wondering about the size of their cage. So I research a ton before investing in animals because I want to make sure that I'm taking care of them properly. Here you can see they're freaking out because I blocked off their door to get into the sand bath so I could clean it. Oh, and here's them enjoying. Look at, they just love it. They kick around and every single one of them end up in there playing. But back to my question. So a lot of people wonder about the size of the cage. So there are 2 options for quail cages. You can do an aviary style, but it has to be over 6 feet because quail, when they get spooked, jump up. And under 6 feet, they can break their necks. So it has to be over 6 feet or under 2 feet. Well, because we have more of a suburban living, we decided to go with the under 2 feet. And then amount of quail per square foot should be 1 to 2 quail per square foot, because if you have less than that, you deal with a chance of them getting territorial and dealing with more mean birds. And like I said, I don't like to keep mean birds. So we try to stick to that 1 bird per square foot in their cages, just to make sure that they're all happy, healthy, getting along well, and whatnot. And here we are. It is time for bath time for the dogs. The dogs hate water. I actually recently had someone ask if we let the dogs swim in the pool, and we totally would if they wanted to, but they hate water. So this is always a fun project when the dogs need a bath because they fight me so much. So it's always a 2-person job. So Xander came out here to help me just hold Bailey so that he wasn't trying to run all the way around the yard while I was trying to do this. We did lock up the ducks at this point because Bailey's really good with the ducks. Drake is a husky and they are hunters. I don't know if he would be good or not. So we aren't even testing it. So when I was doing this, the ducks were in their home and they got to come out after the dogs were done getting cleaned. Look at his face. He's like, why are you doing this to me?
There's been a whole lot of crying, whole lot of trying, whole lot of telling me I should be dying up being like you. I don't wanna be like you. There's been a whole lot of trying, whole lot of crying, whole lot of telling me I should be dying up being like you. I don't wanna be like you.
Bobby ended up coming outside, so he is currently holding the camera watching me. I always do a double wash on the dogs kind of like for yourself, that like first wash gets the initial, and then the second wash actually allows all the benefits of the soap to really penetrate them. So this is for skin health. We do one that helps moisturize their skin. I mainly wanted to get this done because I was noticing Bailey was itching and licking a lot, which normally means his skin is getting really dry. So I like to go in and give him a really good bath and moisturize that skin. So even though his face says he doesn't like it, he has to like it. It makes him feel better in the end.
It's a new day for good times. I just turn the page, let it write what it likes. And ooh, yeah, I feel it now. Every atom in my body feels okay. Yeah.
I just love his look. He's like, why? Oh, he is so cute. I also made the very bad mistake of forgetting to grab my sunglasses. I have super sensitive eyes to sun. So even though this was a day that it was raining off and on, so most people wouldn't need sunglasses, my eyes were burning so bad and I was squinting and everything. But once I started, I'm like, well, now I'm just going to finish. But I don't know about you, but I have crazy sensitive eyes. Xander's actually the same way. So the glasses we got him actually transition in the sun because he is just like me where he needs sunglasses. Otherwise, it ends up hurting his eyes as well. But you can see by the lack of transition in his sunglasses that it wasn't that sunny. Like I said, I'm still squinting. So Bailey had to stay outside with us, but then we brought in Drake. Drake is really hard to wash because Husky's fur is meant to repel water, kind of like ducks. Also, he gave me a bath this entire time. You're going to notice he splashed me a lot, but he is always so much harder to wash because actually getting that water to penetrate him takes a lot longer. And yes, the shake. Xander and I were both soaked by the end of this.
The outside looking through a window. I say I don't want it, but I'm so full of it. I wanna be the life of the party. I wanna dance with somebody. Be ooh, 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 ooh. I wanna be the life of the party. I wanna hold on to somebody. Be ooh, 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 ooh. Living your life through a lens, perfect pretending. You think no one can tell.
Drake really doesn't like getting wet, so his is like his worst nightmare. He actually only gets a bath like once or twice a year though, so he's not that bad. Luckily down here, like it does not take long to dry off because even though it was raining off and on this day, like it was still hot. We all spent a little bit of time outside and we were dry within I think about 10 minutes. So like I said, the dogs had to stay outside to dry off, but I love being able to do this outside. That way I'm not having to worry about blow dry them and do all of that because they don't like the blow dryer either. So if I can do this outside and they can walk around and shake and dry off in the summer heat, it is much better on them. You gotta love the shakes. Like I said, luckily about 10 minutes outside and we were all dried off because we were definitely all soaked by the end of this.
Yeah, I wanna be the life of the party. I wanna dance with somebody. Be ooh, 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 ooh. I wanna be the life of the party.
So this was a good couple hours later, but I wanted to get in this dog room and clean it up. It was horrendous. Like this being the dog room, a lot of times it's also a drop zone where things just get put. So the steam cleaner, as it was cooling off, I had just put it in this room and never put it away. So I wanted to put it away. I wanted to clean the floors, just kind of get everything dealt with. I'm going to have to do another really thorough cleaning of the house before we go on vacation. But if I can at least go through and give each room a good deep cleaning, it just means that I can not be as stressed out the day we leave. We do drive. It's about 21-hour drive from where we are in Florida to where we go in Wisconsin. So we try and leave around like 6 o'clock at night. That means when we first leave, we get all that like nighttime driving done in the very beginning, and then by the time we're starting to get tired and thinking about quitting, the sun's coming up and we like get revived. I don't know. We've always done it this way. It always works really, really well. So that is our plan. And then it allows me to like clean all day. Bobby always takes the first shift and then I'll end up driving later. So even if I'm cleaning all day, I can nap in the car, and then Bobby naps during the day before we leave.
Everything just turned again. For 1 or 2, maybe 3 years, I've been feeling nothing at all. But then I saw your face lighting up my space. Got me going like that, lighting up my space. You do like a candle in the dark.
So we also call this the dog room because this is literally where all of their stuff is. It's where all the bird stuff is. I still keep it nice in here because it is nice to have the extra seating when company is over. But we like that it has the sliding glass door because when we leave, we can shut that sliding glass door. They are still in a very comfortable part of the house that's AC'd and everything. But they don't have free roam of the entire house. Because we don't need them destroying stuff. And if you know anything about Huskies, you know they can be destructive. But this was an addition. I believe it used to be like a covered lanai, like the pool area, and they walled it in. So we love it for the fact that the dogs do get all their stuff in here. When we're gone, they have a whole area. But it also gets really, really dirty because the dogs are in here all the time. They're eating. The kids are coming in and out from the backyard and the pool area and everything. So the amount of dog food and dog hair and dust and dirt and everything that builds up, this room gets very bad. You can see this railing, just how much had built up on it. And I forget to clean this room. Like, I'll do basic cleaning, but I forget to deep clean it. So it was definitely in need.
Do you know I'm looking and I can't help but smile? Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay?
Just going in and giving it a quick vacuum first. I actually went in and did like the main area with this vacuum, but then I brought the robot vacuum out here and let it do it as well. That way it could do a better job at getting in like under the furniture and stuff. I did it to the best of my ability with this, but the robot vacuums just, I swear, just get in areas that you don't even notice because they can get under everything. So I did not film that portion. I just filmed me doing the quick vacuum of it and then coming out later and doing the mopping as well.
I love you. I put your favorite song on just to wake you up. When I dance around, I can't help but feeling, I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause
I do absolutely love this mop vacuum. I could have come out here with a mop and bucket, but this always just seems more convenient to me. So I just brought this out there, especially since I had gotten a lot done on this day. Like, I was getting tired. I was looking for simple fixes to things. And to me, this is a lot easier than grabbing the mop and bucket and then having to clean out the mop and bucket when you're done. Like, there's just to me in my head a lot more that goes into it. So I was just using this real quick to get around and get it all clean. I would like eventually, if we stay in this house, to change these floors to match the rest of the house. But for now, this works really well. They clean really easy, which is very important to me. And last year, we actually, when the hurricanes came around, we had some flooding in this room. So I kind of want to see how hurricane season goes this year. I think I sealed up all the problem areas last year. But before we do any major stuff to this room, one, I want to know if we're staying in this house. We have talked about buying more land. And two, I don't want it to flood. All right, so you guys have been loving the recipes I'm sharing, and I love sharing recipes with you. I love the homemade stuff, but I also sometimes like to share with you the easy, like, weekday dinner stuff. This is a simple 4-ingredient dinner, and the kids love it. Absolutely devour it. So I call this pizza pasta. So I'm just taking jarred sauce. I know, end of the world, it's jarred sauce, but hey, it's easy. It is always in my pantry. I then have cheese tortellini, and then I'm just putting some sauce on it, and then some mozzarella. We're kind of layering this like lasagna, but with tortellini and pizza stuff. So you're going to see here in a second, I'm going to put some pepperoni on here. My kids love pepperoni pizza, but you could also add mushrooms and peppers and sausage and really whatever you like in a pizza, add it in here. It turns out so good. And like I said, my kids absolutely devour this. I actually did not get an after shot. And normally I'm like on it for you guys to get an after shot. But by the time I remembered, it was gone. The kids had eaten it all.
You sleep, but I know you're not dreaming of me. Oh, we were so tenderly, looked at the world through rose-colored glasses.
Now it was just ready for a reset at the end of the night. I know it is still light outside. It actually stays light till about 8:30, almost 9 o'clock right now. So I like to start cleaning stuff up. I make Freya help me at the end of the night because she has to get to bed also. So shutting all the curtains, cleaning up all the toys, just trying to get the house back into order before we all go to bed. The kids normally go to bed in the summer between 8 and 9. It really just depends. I'm not as strict with the boys, but with Freya, I normally try to shoot for 8. Lately, she has been a crazy person and all over the place. But we do try to shoot for 8 o'clock for her. So that is just what we're doing, cleaning everything up and getting everything ready for the night. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We got a ton done on this day. I was super proud of myself because I don't always get this much done in one day, but you know how it is. When you're on a roll, go with it because the next day you may just not be at all. So that was me for this day. But I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, I would love if you would like, subscribe, share this video with a friend. All of those things really, really do help out my channel. And I appreciate each and every one of you that, one, make it to the end. Like, that alone is a huge help. And two, do share this video. You guys are amazing. But I will see you next time. Bye.